Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever you are watching from. I'm back in the Facebook Live to another episode of 1001 Thagatchari Gratitude Project of Manipur, where we are gathering together to talk a little bit about gratitude, thankfulness to people around us. I was really excited to get a note from Tomba Angom, who is our guest speaker today. He is right now currently in UK, and he's the events manager in Carnival, the British cruise line. So I'm very excited to talk to him, learn a little bit about what he does, and then we'll share our gratitude about the people around us. So let me bring up Tomba Angom to our screen. Hi, Tomba. How are you? Welcome.
Hi, Monica. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I have to say that I know that most people call you by the name Tom, shortened
That's
it
right.
Tomba. Tomba is a very special name for me because it's a name for my father too, Ingudam Tomba Singh. And my father's name, Tomba, is named by his parents with so much of love because he uh, was the youngest, right? So when I saw that we started communicating about Thagatchari and also your name, it was very special. So I wanted to start with that thought for today's show.
I'm really happy to know that, Monica.
All right. So how about you, start with giving us a little bit of introduction about yourself, what you do. I know, that you are in the cruise line, but, if you can introduce yourself a bit.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Monica, for having me on this show. And to all of my families, my friend who is currently watching this show from Manipur and from India, a very good evening to all of you. About myself, my name is Tomba Angom, and I'm from a very small and beautiful place called Kangsup Singkong, which is in Imphal West District of Manipur. And I'm a seafarer by profession, and currently I'm working with Piano Cruises of Carnival UK. And about my education background, I studied in Don Bosco High School Fayeng from class nursery till class 10. And I did my 10 plus 2 from CC Higher Secondary School, Imphal. After that, I went to study college in Danamanjuri for science, but then after 2 months, I dropped out. The reason being, what happened was there was some sort of notification about 6-month diploma course in hotel management, so I dropped down from college and instead I went to study for diploma course. And in terms of like work wise, I've been working in hospitality industry for more than 7 years by now. Yeah, that's all about myself.
All right. So how did you, get into the cruise line? Like who introduced you? How did you come to know about, about the opportunity? I'm sure, many of our listeners appreciate learning and knowing about different career line. And, I wanted to take the opportunity to talk and explore a little bit about what you do and how people can, get into that industry.
Sure. So, Monica, what happened was after I did my diploma course, I was in Greater Noida. I was working with one small hotel. And from there, again, I moved on to Ritz-Carlton, Bangalore. So when I was in Bangalore, what happened was actually I was looking for a job in abroad, actually. Mainly, I was looking in Australia as well as Singapore. But then for some reason, unfortunately, I couldn't get any sort of like reply or anything from them, whenever I apply for any sort of job. Then one day I got a notification in my email through Naukri.com saying that there will be a working interview for various hotel around the world actually, and they are coming to Bangalore for that. So actually, I went for the interview in one of the hotels in Bangalore for one of the five-star hotel in Singapore. But what happened was, for some reason, at last moment, they canceled that interview. But at the same place, there was an interview taking place for this cruise line actually. So instead of the hotel, I went for this cruise line and to the same place, and then I apply then and there. Then luckily I go through. That's how I'm with Piano Cruises actually.
Wow. So, it was kind of like luck which brought you that you were in the right place at the right time. And it's almost like the opportunity was waiting for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, sometimes in life, I think, definitely we encounter such situation. So for our listeners, who are watching us, thank you for watching. And I do want to make our show interactive. So do comment, share, so that, we ask question to Tom, who can help answer, about some of the opportunity he has seen. All right. So once you gave the interview, like, can you, share more on, okay, what next happened and kind of led to your 7 years of career in the cruise industry?
Okay, so what happened was, as soon as I go through with my first round, then I started kind of like, checking what is a cruise line all about. Because even though I've already given my first round, I was not knowing what the cruise line is.
Sorry, that's so funny. Okay, so you saw the opportunity, but you were not really prepared and you didn't know, okay, what do they do? And in the sense that more details about it.
Exactly. So what happened was, like when I was in Bangalore, even at that time, I really don't have any clue what the cruise line is all about. And in fact, as I said, I was going for interview for something else, but then I end up giving up, for this cruise line actually. So after I go through with my first round, then they call me for the second round. So I kind of like started checking a little bit on Google's, like, what the cruise line is all about. Then I kind of got to know a bit more idea once I check from the Googles, and they invited me for the second round, so I went for my second round. I got through, and then there's some sort of like technical questions and answer where I will have to do through writing, which I again got through onto that one. And though we are already selected through interview, actually the process is not completed yet. To get onto the cruise line, the process is actually quite long. So what happened was, after that, there are so many training and medical check that we have to do before we get onto the cruise line. So there was one of the training that we do, we call as an STCW course. It's an standard of training and certificate for watscaping actually. That is mandatory for all the seafarers in case if they have to join in any of the cruise, passenger ship, or it can be cargo, anything. So I go through to all those training. After that, again, we have to go for medical checkup. So medical checkup is also, again, it's not a normal checkup that we have to do. It is something, we have to go to certain designated clinic, which is approved by the Director General of Shipping from India, actually. So
Okay.
there are, yeah, there are few places in India where we can go for that clinic. For me, I did it from Kolkata, actually. So in Kolkata, there's one clinic. So I went over there for my medical checkup, and then by the by grace of God, again I was passed in the medical check. After that, again, there are some sort of online test that we have to do, which we call as a Merlin test actually. That is mainly for the vocabulary, test actually. So we have to score like 80% out of 100 marks and so on, which we have to do it compulsory.
So that
Again,
is
like,
more like testing your English language and capability of understanding the language.
that's right, that's right.
Okay, got it.
So I got through onto that one, and according to me, one of the biggest, tasks for me to join to the cruise line was, soon after I complete with all those things, we have to apply for US visa actually. Though all the process, all the guideline is given by our recruitment agency, we still have to go for face-to-face interview. But the problem with that one is that, in case for any reason, if we face in the interview, then we cannot reapply at least for 6 months. So we can apply only after 6 months. So we have to be very careful for that interview. So
Okay.
I went to Mumbai and I went for that interview, and then luckily again, yeah, I got through onto that visa face-to-face interview, and now here I am in P&O Cruises.
So you said you have to apply for visa. So did you say US or UK?
US, it is C1D. We call it an US C1D visa. The reason being, what happened is the cruise that I am on, we go to different part of the world actually, and we do go to US as well. And as a seafarer, it is mandatory for somebody to have C1D visa for US.
I see. And with that visa, you could land in other countries.
Not actually like that. We will have some sort of other paperwork that we will get from the office for us to travel from India to other part of the country. But wherever we go to US, we have to ensure that we have that valid US, C1D visa with us.
Okay, got it. All right. Okay, so what is your exact role in the cruise line?
Okay, so actually, I started working with this cruise line from 2015. I started here as a receptionist actually, and then only last year I got promoted as an events manager. For events manager, the job over here is quite interesting one to be honest. So over here, events manager is like a wedding coordinator where I do take care for all the weddings that take place on board, and we have like renewal of vows and diamond wedding anniversary and so on. So mainly for special events on board, I do take care on that one. Plus, when reception manager is not on duty, so I look after the reception team. So basically, I act as a manager on duty when reception manager is not there. Yeah,
All right, so that's interesting. So a lot of people do host weddings, and you said renewal of vows mainly in the cruise.
that's right.
Okay, got it. All right. So I know that you had mentioned about opportunities, which people can apply. I know that right now with the COVID-19,
Mhm.
I'm sure like the cruise lines are impacted a lot. Um, and we can take the second part about the opportunity. But can you share about the impact you are facing right now with the COVID-19 situation?
Yes, you must have heard lots of news about various cruise line where there are so many positive cases where they have on board and they are struggling, stranded
Yeah.
here and there and unable to go back home. But luckily for me, the ship that I am on, luckily we don't have any case on board right now. And our company, to be honest, been extremely good, and they look after us so well. But yes, of course, we are maintaining all the guidelines given by the UK government to us about social distancing and hand washing, all this and that. Yeah, we have to do all those things, and for quarantine things and so on. Yeah, we are still practicing all these things. And at the moment, some of our crew member actually they started now going back home, mainly for the Philippines. But again, for India is India is still on lockdown, so we are still on board. We are still safe. To be honest, at the moment, I don't want to go back home. Instead, I prefer to stay here because I feel much safer to be on board at this very point.
Okay, got it. But is the ship functional now, or
At the moment, the ship is on pause till 15th of May for now. But after 15th of May, I don't know whether we are going to start operating again. But it is very unlikely for now, considering the fact that the situation in UK is not really that good at the moment. So what happened is we are not on operation, but we as a crew we still have to work. The reason being we have to still look after our fellow crew in case of any emergency or anything. But now the working hours has been quite less compared with what we normally used to work, so it's quite easy. And at the same time, as everybody is away from home, and with this current situation, everybody their mind is so disturbed with so many things. So we are kind of like initiating so many activities on board just to get rid out of this, current situation, keeping the social distancing and rest of the other things in mind. Yeah, we are coming up with so many different activities and different programs on board just to keep engaged actually with the rest of the other crew.
All right. Yeah, that is awesome. So, what kind of activities are you guys doing?
At the moment, mostly we are doing for the physical fitness like Zumba class, aerobic class. We have a movie night, and we are having a different kind of game on board actually. Yeah, that's kind of activities that we do on board at the moment.
Okay. All right. Um, so, do you, for the second part of the question, do you want to share about the opportunities, for the people who are watching back home from Manipur, who are looking to um, have, I guess, more job opportunities outside if they want to explore? Do you want to share a little bit about what opportunities are there and how they can apply?
Sure. Say, Monica, first thing, the problem in Manipur is mostly the youths in Manipur. At this very moment, I don't think there are so many of them knows what is the cruise line all about. So that is one of the main reason why I want to share a bit more about it. So for somebody to get onto the cruise line, what all they are supposed to do and so on. So on the cruise line, what happened is we have so many department on board, but mainly from India. Like somebody from India can apply on board here for the hotels department, like for the front office department, for the restaurant department, for the bar, spa, and so on actually. So in case if somebody want to apply for this job, what happen is, of course, at first they will have to have an experience to apply for this one. And in especially in Manipur, what happened is mostly there are so many peoples where they usually do this 1 year diploma course in hotel industry and so on. So especially for them, what happened is in case if they are working back home in Manipur and wanted to apply for this job, I would say the chance will be a bit rare. The reason being, mostly they prefer somebody who have work experience from five-star property.
Mm,
So what I would highly recommend to all the youths who want to have their career, in the hotel industry field or maybe in the cruise line or anything, after they study whatever they have to study back home in Manipur, if they can just come out from Manipur and work in any of the five-star hotel in any part of India, at least a minimum of 1 year.
got it. So the experience counts a lot. Like, when the cruise line is recruiting, they look into the experience more than the education.
Exactly. And depend on again like how confident and like how the person is actually.
Got
And
it.
again, what happened is in India, like this recruitment agency for the cruise line, we don't have that many. So from my side, what I want to recommend is in case if they want to come to the cruise line, mainly they have agency in Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Goa. So if anybody, if they can work in this states, it will be quite easy for them to get through to this cruise line. The reason being, let's say they are working in Kolkata and they want to apply for the cruise line. Yeah, they can do online application and so on, but still, it will be very difficult for them when they have to go there, for the face-to-face interview, because obviously they have to take the flight and they have to fly from Kolkata. And if they're working in hotels, it's not that easy for them to take leave straight then and there, because I work in hotels before, so I know how the things work in hotels. So I would highly recommend for them like to work either in Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, or Goa in case if they want to make their career in cruise industry. And only in these states they have a recognized and designated, agency for somebody to recruit on the cruise line actually.
Okay.
And if I have to say something about me, so in Mumbai for this P&O Cruises, we have one of this agency called CSSI, which is Carnival Support Services India Private Limited. So this agency is one of the designated agency for them to recruit any crew member who want to work in a cruise line for the P&O Cruises UK, or it can be for Costa or for P&O Australia. And one thing that we have to keep it in mind is nowadays there are so many fraud agency coming up in India about cruise line. So if somebody said like, okay, I will give you a job, you give me like this much, so much amount and so on, like for you to get onto the job and so on, I would highly recommend please don't do, because any of the designated recruitment agency that we have in India, none of them take any single money from any of the crew member want to apply for this job actually.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that because, I think it's very important for our young listeners to know that, if it is a true job recruitment, there's no money involved. It is your talent, your experience. And, if somebody is advertising saying that, hey, we'll get you a job, you have to pay this much amount and run away from that because most likely that is a fraud.
Yeah, that's really true. That's really true.
All right, carry on.
Okay. And on the cruise ship, actually, the job is not only for like, for the restaurant bar or for receptionists and so on. Apart from that, for somebody who have, experience about hairstyling, makeup, or anybody who work in any of the branded, shop back home, they also can apply. In fact, even for the photographers, they can apply for this cruise job actually. We have so many peoples on board here who work in spa, who work in other departments. So there's so many number of options that we have on cruise ship. And the plus point for the cruise ship is if you get chance to work on the cruise ship, you get chance to travel the world. You can see so many different countries which you normally wouldn't get chance to see if you are working back in India. Plus, they pay a very good money, which is a plus point again.
That's
And
awesome.
whatever the
So,
money that
so which countries have you traveled as part of your job?
Okay, Monica, for me, I have traveled around about 55 countries so far.
Wow.
Mhm.
So, like, do you like, like, how do you experience it? Is it like you take time off, when you guys are in that place, or how would you kind of, I guess,
Okay,
balance your work and, time off to enjoy each country you are landing?
okay, let me be very clear on this note. One thing on board, we don't have a day off.
Mm,
So for me, like my contract is for 6 months, so we work every single day. But we work only 9 hours a day and sometimes like 8 hours a day. And our duty is like we have a breakup duty. So in the morning we will work 4 hours and we will have a break of let's say like 4 hours or 5 hours, and then after again we work the remaining hours in that way. So normally during our break time we manage to go outside and then see and explore whatever we can during those free time actually.
got it. All right. So when you say like, the contract is 6 months, so you are, on board, you are sailing for 6 months, and what do you do in the other 6 months?
Sorry, say that again.
So you said your contract and your work is 6 months,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
is it like 6 months in 1 year only that, you are signed up for the job? So what do you do like for the remaining 6 months of that year?
Okay, so our contract work in a way that like we work 6 months on board and then 2 months vacation. So after 2 months again, we will come back to the ship again. So it's like
Got it.
6 months contract work hours, and then 2 months again we are back home on vacation.
Okay. And the 2 months is paid time.
Unfortunately, not. We don't get paid, but
Oh, I
the
see.
plus point is, yeah, the plus point is they arrange our travel arrangement like to fly back from wherever the country that we are in up to India. So that's a plus point. That is anyway
Got it.
almost the same actually.
Got it. So it's like, you are paid for 6 months, you are contracted
Mhm.
for 6 months, and then you have the opportunity to be back home or wherever you want to go for 2 months, and you can, your contract will resume again only after 2 months, but you guys have to take a 2 months break.
That's right. And it's not necessary for 2 months. Actually, 2 months is the standard time they always give to us. But sometime in case if they do, need somebody to come back early, then obviously, yeah, they do contact us and then they call us like to join early. So we
Got
can
it.
still join early as well.
All right. Yeah, that's good to know. So how many Manipuri people? I know that a lot of uh, people are maybe working in different cruise line, but in your
Mhm.
cruise line, how many people are there from Manipur?
Okay, so Che Monica, in the Piano Cruise Line, we have at the moment five different ships. So in all these five different ships, I've been almost to all the these five different shape, and as far as what I know so far is approximate, I think 20 to 25 crew member we have. And on board here, the ship that I am on right now, we are just three of us. So two of them, they work in different department and I work in front office department.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, it's nice to know, that there are people from Manipur. I have gone to one of the cruise, and when I met people from Manipur in the staff, I met, someone working in the spa from Churachandpur, and I was so happy to see. And we spoke a little bit in Meitei and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's true.
All right. Is there anything else you want to share about your work?
Okay, if I have to say a bit more about for the cruise line, then for somebody who wanted to work in the cruise line, they have to be a bit strong enough actually, because they are going to be away from home for 6 months. There is no way that they can go back and see any of their family members whenever they wanted to. So they have to be a bit bold for that reason. And yeah, for somebody who have this, homesick and like who always wanted to be a bit close with the families, then it will be a bit difficult for them. So they have to be a bit strong enough for somebody to come on cruise ship actually. And apart from that, for anybody who wanted to have more idea like what the cruise line is all about, what all agency they can apply, how they can go through to that agency and so on. In that case, I'm more than happy to share with all the viewers and with all the youths actually in Manipur, in case if they are interested to work in cruise line. Anytime they can just text me in my Facebook, and then I'm more than happy to get back to them with more details actually on how they have to go and how they can apply on this cruise line job.
Yeah, thank you for making that offer. I think the absolute charm about our community is we are very close knit. And if you're listening to this show and you have aspiration about, joining the cruise line industry and want to get more information, do ping, Tomba Angom in Facebook right now, even though we are all apart in terms of the physical distance, I think we have this connectivity. So thank you for offering that. All
Thank
right,
you.
so let's move on to our next segment of Thagatchari, wherein we encourage everybody to practice gratitude and take a moment to talk about love, gratitude for people around us. So um, let's hear from Tomba on your nomination of gratitude.
Okay, so Monica, for me, I would like to extend my gratitude, first of all, to my mom and to all of my family members for their immense support and love and for making me become who I am today. And secondly, I also would like to thank and extend my gratitude to one of my very good friend called Dayananda. Actually, he's from Moirang. I'm sure he must be watching this show as well, because he's the guy who introduced me to this show, and that's how I get chance to be onto this show. And also, I would like to thank, considering the current situation, I would like to thank and extend my gratitude to all the frontliners who is currently, working so hard day and night to fight with this pandemic disease. I'm really great and thankful to all of them. And even in Manipur, as you can see, there's so many social workers, so many local organizations come out and put their hand together to help the person, to those who are in need. Actually, it is extremely extremely glad and good to see all these things coming up and helping one another at this very crucial time.
Awesome. All right. So let's hear a little bit about your mom. So you nominated your mom. Tell me more about her. What's her name? What does she do?
Okay, yeah, my mom, her name is Sana Hanbi, and of course, yeah, she's my world best mom. She's a housewife actually, and Chemonica. Unfortunately for me, my dad passed away when I was in class 9. But then, though my mom is the only person like who kind of earning little money for our family, she kind of like, what will I say? She's just so good with everything. She helped me in so many different ways. Though she couldn't support me to the way how I wanted financially, but mentally and by saying so many good words, she keep on inspiring me and she keep on motivating me. She never let me down with anything, and I'm really proud of her. And I'm not sure whether she must be watching this, so I just want to say, Mama, I love you and thank you so much for everything that you do for me and for making me who I have become today. And again, even my all of my brothers and sisters who is back home now, I also would like to thank them for their support. They support me like anything, and that's one of the main reason why I'm kind of now independent with anything, and I can support my family now. And yeah,
Good.
thankful to
So
my.
you said your mom is a housewife, and you also said that she earned little money. So what did she do, or what does she do to for financially backing up your family?
Okay, so at the time she used to sell bananas and different kind of vegetables in the market, and that's
Which
how
market?
she was in the Imphal actually.
Yeah, and see, like, I mean, I love to share about such stories, right? We come from very unique background. There you
Hmm.
have your mom, who was selling um, banana, vegetables to keep up the family, right? And you also said
That's right.
my mother's word kept me inspired. So do you remember a specific, word or sentence, what she said, which made you cling to your goals and aspiration?
Okay, there was one time. What happened was soon after my dad passed away, she kind of like come up to me and she told me, Tom, see, now I'm the only one who is earning money back home, and to support all of my brothers and sisters at the time was a kind of a bit difficult. Then my mom come and said to me, I know now the situation for our family is not that good, but you have to be strong enough and be happy with what you have. And even at the time, what happened was, in fact, I was not having like enough money, and I couldn't even sometimes couldn't go to the school because even I was not having a money like to go to the school and so on. But my mom kind of like keep on telling me like good things. I know like you are facing this problem at this time, but I have a strong belief in you that one day you will become a successful person because of your hard work, and make sure you prove me one day that yeah, you become a successful person. And now, though I'm not perfectly successful, I'm kind of like a bit, yeah, successful in one way, and now I can help my families, even my mom's like back home, which I'm really proud about myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you send money back to your mom.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. I hope your mom, Ima, is watching this show. I'm so proud of you. And to everybody who's struggling, right? We all come from unique background where, your parents did not have the money to pay the fees. And I think even in your case, you did not, you
I
had
was one
that
of them.
challenge, right? Yeah. So
Yes, I was one of them when I was kid.
right. And then maybe you didn't have enough money to buy the clothes which other people were wearing and you wanted to wear, or maybe you want a phone and other people are having all this fancy phone. So I think we all have a lot to learn from our unique situation that, we should not be bitter or we shouldn't like feel that, hey, we cannot achieve because of our background. We can, right? And I think
Yeah, why
uh,
not? Why not? As long as you have a willpower, you can do whatever you can.
right, absolutely. I'm so proud of you. All right, and then you also spoke about your friend Dayananda. So, how did Dayananda introduce you to Finding the Voices? And thank you,
Okay,
Dayananda. By the way, I'm so happy that we are all collaborating and our stories are unique. We need all the inspiration to pass through from generations to generations. And so, thank you.
okay. So, let me say a bit story about it, the way how I met him and so on.
Go
So, what
ahead.
happened is, when I was in class 12, I stay in Segolban Mainolerag, I think, in one of the hostel called Ibizawi Boys Hostel. At that time, I met him, and then we kind of become a very good friend. And then I think it was last year. It was in 2018. He kind of saw, I think, one of the video for one of his friend who was in UK. I think he was doing some sort of internship or something like that. And then there was a talk show with UT Monica actually with him. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of that guy. So soon after he saw that one, after a few days he texted me saying then, Tom, why don't you try for this one? Why don't you have a word with Che Monica about this? Then I kind of like what happened is on board is a bit difficult for the network actually. Sometimes we have a good network, sometimes we don't have a good network, depend on where we are. So because of that, I was kind of like, okay, I will do when I get back home. I was keep on like thinking like this all the time actually. And that's how like he told me, and then I start checking in Facebook like what Finding the Voice is all about and what is this 1001 Thagatchari show and so on. Then I kind of like start watching some of the show whenever I get an opportunity. Then I kind of like found quite inspiring and motivating like to see so many people from Manipur working in different part of the world, and Chair Monica, you being very nice, connecting with them, talking with them, and try to find like how they get into that place, and trying to share like whatever the things that they have been achieving so far with rest of the other youths and with all the peoples who are watching from Manipur on that particular show. So I found quite motivating onto this show. Then I thought, okay, why not? Then this time I will try during this free time, because at this time I'm also having a slightly extra free time compared with what I used to have before. So I was like, okay, I will try this time then.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's very encouraging to hear that, all our brother and sisters all over the world, mostly, we are connected by this channel, Finding the Voices. Um, and we need to form a community, as you know, that many of us are out of Manipur, some by choice, some by situation, because we have to get out, get our education, get the job for sustenance, but we still need to have our own community so that we can continue inspiring each other. So thank you for for sharing your words, for watching. It is all our stories and conversation, um, which is going to bring out the best in us and make us, help us to be high achievers. And I definitely see that in you, Tom. So thank you. All
Thank you
right.
to you.
I know that you have generically thanked the people of Manipur, the people, the volunteers who are coming out, in support of COVID-19. But I want to kind of challenge you to name a specific person at the level of Manipur, because what I'm trying to do is trying to get local role models wherein, we want to say a name, specify a name, um, at the level of Manipur.
Okay, so if I have to name somebody from Manipur about this, then I would like to extend this gratitude to our current Chief Minister of Manipur, Honorable uh, Nongthongbom Biren, because the kind of action that he is taking it to fight for this pandemic, it's incredible. I have seen quite a few other chief ministers, the kind of work that they do when it is extremely in need. But in this current situation, I don't think anybody can do much better than him. I'm really pleased and so proud of him for whatever the single action or so many different measures that he is taking it, just so that the people from Manipur doesn't suffer from this, because as you know in Manipur, this hospitality background is not really that good. For in case if we have a case like other part of India, like let's say the way how they are having it in Mumbai, then it will be extremely difficult to control from this disease in Manipur. And day and night he's working so hard and he's helping to the best he can. And in fact, I have seen some news wherein he is giving some financial assistance to all the stranded students who is staying um, outside the state of Manipur, and it's really good to see. And in fact, I have seen quite a lot of people's like giving ration to the student, because obviously they couldn't go out now to buy anything. So I'm really pleased with our current chief minister, and I hope he continue doing the same thing for the better Manipur. So I would like to extend my gratitude to him.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for your nomination. Thagatchari to our CM and Biren Singh. I do follow him very closely on his, on his videos, on the work he
Okay.
is doing. And absolutely, I agree with you. I think he has been doing and showing a lot of like great leadership in leading Manipur, being transparent about the work he has been doing. So thank you so much. All right. So with that, I think we are coming to a close of our session. Is there anything else you want to share before we end our session?
Okay, yeah, just one thing that I want to point out. This is mainly for the peoples and for the students, like who live in the village or rural area. What happened is the people who live in the village or rural area mostly they are kind of like not getting any guidance or support from anybody properly in term of like education or in term of the career. As an example, let's say they want to study something but they doesn't know like how they have to go about and do all these things. So for this kind of things, in case if anybody come across and find somebody who is in need, I would recommend to all the peoples who is very much well aware and who have much idea to share whatever the things that they know with the people who doesn't know like how to go and how to get to the right way. Please direct them, please guide them, and please help as much as you can. And at this very moment, please do support your neighbor, please do take care of your neighbor and your loved one, and then spread love amongst others.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, I think it's that giving it back to our society, giving it back to the people, right? And I am very encouraged to see that there are a lot of more YouTube channels. There are a lot of sharings amongst us. So I really love that initiative. Continue sharing the voices of people. We can only learn from each other, and also we are. Uh, we have like groups, right? Even in the Facebook group right now, technology is connecting to all of us. Finding the voices itself have personal growth group community wherein we have created, wherein we can get together and learn about tools, techniques to better ourselves, to be high achiever, to achieve the goals what you need and support each other. So I do welcome our listeners. Even though physically many people may be apart, a lot of people from our community are coming up to share about their experience, and we can all learn from each other. So that's a very good message. And let me just share some comments to end our show. Um, we do have a comment from Rina Thangjam saying, "All the best, Tom."
Thank you, Rina.
Also, we have Jiten Oinam saying, Bro, very encouraging.
Uh,
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
And we have command Hidak Bajar home delivery. From the name, I'm assuming that you guys are delivering medicine during this time. So good evening, madam. Yeah, good evening, and thank you for sharing. And the name of your Facebook kind of interprets what you're doing. So thank you for having that. That service during this time. So with that, I am going to thank Tomba. I like to call you Tomba
No
for
problem.
coming to our show. Be safe, and thank you for taking the time to share gratitude. I'm going to share the picture of your mom and your friend, and of course, our chief minister in our Facebook page, to show our gratitude for what they're doing. So thank you so much.
And thank you so much to you too, Monica, for having me once again.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So with that, I'm going to end today's show, and to the ones who are watching, I encourage you to come up, share about yourself, share about what you're doing. This is not only about sharing gratitude, but it is also an opportunity for you to share, what you do. And the more we connect, the more we can better our community. So with that, I would like to end today's show. Thank you, and keep watching, and do follow us in our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and Instagram. Thank you. Bye bye.